All right, so if you haven't heard the great news by now, let me be the first to tell you that Joe Biden has won the 2020 election and he will be the next president of the United States, number 46 if you're counting. So, how did he do it? How did he beat Donald Trump in this election? Well, let's take a look at Pennsylvania. He did outperform in his city of Scranton up there somewhere. So here it is, Scranton. But mainly it was Philadelphia. And the surrounding counties of Philly and Pittsburgh, they brought this election home for Joe Biden. Turns out he probably would have won the election even without Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania guarantees that he wins the election. There is no pathway back for Donald Trump. It is now impossible for Donald Trump to win, even if he were to win Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, which, by the way, Biden is leading in all three of those states right now also. He would still lose the election. Now, CNN, Fox, those guys aren't calling the election yet. So, but you don't have to wait for them. Okay, I promise you, the election is over. You do not have to wait for them to call the election to understand the election is over. So we can actually now move Pennsylvania into Biden's column. We can move Arizona to Biden's column, and we still have to wait for Arizona and Georgia. But most likely, Georgia and Arizona will go for Biden, which means Biden will win the election 306 to 232. And it also means one other thing, depending on where North Carolina comes in. My map was 100% accurate, believe it or not. I actually predicted this exact election scenario, and everyone was criticizing me and saying, oh, look how wrong you were. You were so wrong. I was wrong about the numbers. I was wrong about the margins. But actually, I got all of the states correct on this map. So I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm kind of proud of myself. I did predict Ohio and North Carolina in some of my predictions. I believe my final prediction, I predicted Ohio and North Carolina also. So, okay, I was massively wrong in Ohio. But other than that, I got the election pretty down pat. So what does this mean? Donald Trump has now lost the election. What does this mean for our country? Well, I don't know if Donald Trump will concede. If he doesn't give a concession speech, we could very well see violence in the near future. I think the Republicans in Congress, the Senate, even his advisors, they are going to tell him to do the right thing, to concede the election, to not go down in history as a bigger monster than he will already be remembered as. I think he'll do the right thing. But I also think that he's not going to do it right away. He is going to, try to go to the Supreme Court. He's going to sue. He's going to fight to the bitter end. So, who knows if there will be violence? Who knows if people will lose their lives because of his selfish decision right now, right? Because there is still a lot of time for people to start protesting this election. And somebody might die somewhere in this country based upon Donald Trump's actions. But I don't want to be a party pooper. Today is a day to rejoice. Our long national nightmare is over. Donald Trump will have to get out of the White House very, very soon. And now, Joe Biden has, he has to start to heal the nation. I do think that now is the time. If there's ever a time that we're going to be able to do it, it's right now. This is a chance to reach out, try to, in some way, remind people that we are all Americans, that we have so much more in common than we have differences. Okay, the things that people are trying to divide us with, issues like abortion and issues about gay rights or even minority issues. That is not what America is about. America is about our diversity. That's what makes us so great. Listen, you Republicans have to know this. I know a lot of you older guys took civics, just like I took civics when I was a kid, right? You have to know that diversity isn't a threat to you by now. And if you don't know it, now is the time where we need to have a conversation. Look, if you are a Democrat, if you are a progressive, and you're watching this video right now, right? And you're jubilant and you're ready to celebrate. I want you to talk to a Republican tonight. I want you to talk to somebody who voted for Trump, and I want you to reach out your hand. All right. Now isn't the time to troll them. Now isn't the time to rub it in their face. Right now is the time to say, listen, we are all brothers and sisters in this country. Let's heal this nation right now. All right. And okay, I might be sounding like a goody two shoes right now. And I know that we all suffered a lot under President Trump, but you know, they suffered too, and they don't realize it. The division, the hate, the anger, the animosity, it is a soul sucking and a soul draining thing. And it can work in both ways, right? Because we've all been hurt by the Republicans over the last 4 years. Some of us, listen, I've been hurt by Republicans my entire life, right? So, but now is not the time for vengeance. Now is the time to convert some hearts and minds right now. Be the bigger man or woman, and let's not rub it in their face right now. But let's also be firm and let everybody know, like, this election happened. We count the votes. Counting votes is not stealing. It never has been, right? Donald Trump just made up this whole thing about stealing votes, okay? So let's come together as a country. Let's find some way forward. And by the way, Georgia has 2 runoff elections coming up in January, and even the Senate might go blue. So we still have a chance of winning the Senate. The Senate fight is not over. Is it going to be a long shot? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Jorgensen won 3% in one of the elections for the Senate. So that means we're going to have an uphill ballot to win either Senate seat in Georgia. But we just won the state of Georgia. Georgia just went blue for the first time ever. And so there is hope. There is hope that we're not going to face the same kind of gridlock that President Obama faced. But who knows? Like, I don't know yet. The one thing I do know is that the monster that is Donald Trump has been defeated. Oh, and it feels so good. You know, it has restored my faith in America. It has restored my faith in the possibility of America. And now it's time. Too many people voted for Donald Trump in this election. There's no way that 47% of America should have voted for Donald Trump. So now is the time to make sure that, let's bury Donald Trump. Let's make sure that in 2024, if he dreams about running for re-election, that he gets stomped early. We can't allow a monster like this to ever rise again, because he threatened and almost succeeded in destroying American democracy. All right, so that's it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share the news. Donald Trump has been defeated, and Joe Biden will be the president of the United States.